Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast,
And Spotify.
all this is going viral.
Jeff, Jeremy here. We got tickets to see Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo coming up at 8:15 this morning. You're also going to score yourself a $50 gift card to Smart and Final, celebrating over 150 years of getting you ready for Labor Day weekends, for big 3-day weekends. Hang on for that.
This is a Dumbass of the Day update. Just a few months ago, we told you about I guess, a man who sued his parents for destroying his porn collection. He was living with them at 43 years of age, living with them, so they figured whatever was under their roof was their jurisdiction
property
to destroy.
I don't know if that's quite the case.
Yeah, this happened 8 months ago that he won this lawsuit. I remember we highlighted him in Dumbass of the Day. His name was David Working. A judgment has come down in this lawsuit in which he won against his parents, and the lawsuit was going to give him financial restitution for this. So, what do you think?
I mean, what are we talking about?
He ended up getting for his porn collection.
Was this a big porn collection? It must have been a big porn collection.
You probably don't remember the story, do you?
I remember it. Yes, I remember the fact that they got rid of it. He got upset. He sued them, and I remember that he had a porn collection. But I'm kind of remembering it must have been a big porn.
Yeah,
collection.
he moved back to their house
because I mean, your
for
parents
10 months after a divorce, and they didn't like his porn collection.
He must have had a lot of porn.
Yeah,
Just so tacky.
he ended up getting $30,441. I don't know how they come at such a nice number. He must have kept a pretty itemized list of his porn to come up with that number.
Like a spreadsheet?
Yeah, I've spent $30,441 on porn. And then the judge, he valued the set by an expert.
Who is an expert?
Who has the job of porn appraiser? The porn appraiser? Are you kidding me? He got an expert to appraise the value of the set and came up with the $30,441. Also, the parents have to pay $14,500 to their son's attorney for this.
So they're into this for almost $50,000. Damn. Well, you're going to be written out of the will, so hopefully you had to think about that though, right before you decided to sue your parents. Like, yeah, they're going to be around for a while, but how much are they maybe going to have left over when this thing's all said and done?
His dad sent him an email saying, "Frankly, David, I did you a big favor getting rid of all this stuff.
You sick bastard.
And ditto for your sex toys and your smutty magazines."
Oh God, you slimy pervert.
Don't say slimy.
Slimy.
Gross.
Let's think about it.
He said that the collection was worth anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000, and that he had an emotional attachment.
Nobody wanted anything to do with your porn collection or toys. All right.
Here's the thing. Okay.
Brand new, maybe yes.
This is fairly interesting because the judge
secondhand porn.
The judge awarded him the high end of his asking amount in this one. He said it was worth anywhere between $10,000 and $30,000.
Judge must not have liked
Judge said, "Okay, we'll give you $30,441." I'm guessing some of that has to be lent to the emotional attachment part of the lawsuit. But man, that's quite the payout. I mean, now what do? Do you replace it, or do you take the $30,000 and reallocate it towards something a little bit more lucrative?
The law is pretty black and white, so they're not looking at it as porn. They're looking at it as material things that he had. It could have been model cars. You know what I mean? It could have been trains. It could have been who knows what, baseball cards. And I think that's the way the judge in the court has to look at it.
Thank you, Harvey Levin.
It is very that was very Harvey Levin.
I feel like I am at one of those TMZ meetings where he's just preaching at all the young kids how stupid they are. When you're sitting here law explaining it to me.
Well, I've been on a jury. I've sat on a jury and we came to a verdict, Jeff. So, I've done this. I'm just telling you that's the way they talk to you. That's the way you have to look at it. And so I understand. But
okay, I'm digging
this guy's gross.
the black polo shirt today. That's too tight on you.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
So yesterday you were talking about not liking the extremes that the weather men and weather women show when it comes to these extreme weather events.
Well, we started off talking about Al Roker, and he was getting all upset because people said he's too old to be out in the middle of these storms covering him, and he was like, screw you, come out, I'll take you punks on, whatever, Al Roker. You're probably pooping your pants. But, my point is, if you watch the weather, a lot of times these weather guys, and mainly it's more men, I think, than women, they really have that look at me factor going on. Look at me, look at me, look at me. They're very animated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy, which I realize weather can be boring. And I'm not talking about Dave. All right. I actually really like Dave. I think he does a really good job, but he has a little bit of that look at me factor. I'm not going to lie, but you see it, other things. You see it on the TV a lot, like national news, and Al Roker's stupid. Like Al Roker, I don't even understand how he's famous. Now, the guy that used to be on Good Morning America that would celebrate the old ladies and the old men with their birthday, the Smuckers.
He was on Today Show. That was the guy that was before Al Roker. I forget his name.
He was today?
Yeah, he was today.
My bad.
He was previous to Al Roker.
We don't even know his name. I know his name, but I can't think of it. He died a handful of years ago.
But yeah, he always would say, "Oh, happy birthday to so and so. She's 104."
Yeah, and he big bald guy.
Yeah.
Just everybody.
Willard Scott. I don't know how that name just jumped off the page at me, but it's Willard Scott. Yeah.
Willard Scott. He was great.
Willard.
He was very inviting and comforting, but now we've got this new, Jim Cantori type weather people that are shouting and they're screaming and they're turning around.
Some people in Gulfport, Mississippi, also don't like the inaccuracies of these weather forecasters who get out there and just try to steal the headline from the storm, and by getting hit by the storm. Shaquille Brewster was doing a live shot from Gulfport, Mississippi on Tropical Storm Ida.
The rain has stopped. The wind is still going there. I think we even have a random person going around. I'm going to turn this way because, we deal with some people every once in a while. But, one thing that we are noticing is that they're okay. Craig, I'm going to toss it back to you because we have a person who needs a little help right now.
Hey.
I saw this. Okay, number one, I don't know if they have the MSNBC logo on the van. They probably do. I think that's why he stopped. I don't think he was talking about the story. I think that some people believe that MSNBC...
We don't know if he was talking about the storm or whether or not he was talking about MSNBC's coverage.
We all know that MSNBC is a very liberal agenda news outlet, and they always tend to bash Republicans and the Republican idealism.
And
we're in the South.
Mississippi...
Yes, very Republican. It's a Republican state, Republican leadership, and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what the guy was yelling. He was screaming at him, "Why don't you report more accurately?" or something.
Here's more.
We're going to check in with Shaq Brewster just to make sure all is well. There's a lot of crazy out there, a lot of crazy. And Bill Cairns, thank you as well. Again, we'll make sure Shaq's okay, and we'll update you here in just a few moments.
Because the guy just kept shouting at him.
Yeah. Did you see the video?
No, I have not seen the video.
My God. So he's sitting there and he's got the beach behind him, and the guy is just driving a regular, pickup. He comes flying in and parks behind him.
I've not seen the video, but I found the video. Can I watch it?
Yes, watch the video.
I'm going to watch it on air. I always like when we do these.
This is these kind of segments. But you can give us the play-by-play of what is actually happening there.
He has returned. We saw postal workers going out delivering mail this morning. Just a couple of minutes ago, people were walking their dogs. They're back on the beach right now, and that's the sense that you're getting that
this doesn't have much to do with the storm. You're right.
The wind is still going there. I think we even have a random person going around. I'm going to turn this way because, we deal with some people every once in a while. But, one thing that we are noticing is that the mayor said...
I got to give it up to Shaquille, man. He is calm.
Little Shaq?
He is cool.
No,
as the other side
good.
is the pillow in thwarting that transition.
So this guy pulls up behind him. He comes running down the freaking side of the road at him, and he's doing this live shot. And they turn. And what you got to understand, if you're going to go after the live reporter and you want to be heard, you have to go to. He went to the camera guy. You could tell because he's off camera. You need to go to the reporter and yell because he's got the mic, so we can't really hear what you're saying. You can kind of hear it in the background, and then somebody.
Well, it continues.
In effect, the curfew is going to be going on for at least until a period of time in which they can
report
go ahead and go and survey all the damage. They did get some reports of some down power lines, of some trees that have fallen, or at least limbs that have fallen. So they're going to go ahead and do that survey to make sure that they're okay. Craig, I'm going to toss it back to you because we have a person who needs a little help right now.
Yeah. Hey.
So when they cut back to the studio, like the guy gets in his face and Shaquille reaches up his forearm and he's got the microphone in his hand, and that's the last shot that you see. So we don't know how things went down.
If I was that reporter, if I was Shaq, I'd have like mace or like pepper spray with me. And if somebody got that close to me, they're going to get hit. They're going to get hit. How great a TV would they be? And what pisses me off is they went away from it. Like, that was the good TV. That's what we want to see. That's news.
Person who needs a little help right now.
Yeah.
I've just got to freeze it and get the still for the right there. Right. Wait.
Hey.
Okay, there. Yeah.
What are you looking at? Nobody can see it. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at Shaquille basically hitting the guy in the face with the microphone as this is going down. I'm going to take a still shot of this and post it over on our Facebook page.
Do that.
Just so everybody knows. But it's all about ethics in hurricane journalism, Jeremy.
That's my 101. If you're going to harass a reporter, get to the microphone.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
We are online at KZOZ.com and on the free KZOZ app. Download it from your app store. You can get us on all the streaming devices as well if you got an Alexa. Hey, Alexa, start KZOZ. We'll get us up and running there for you. The Echo, the Dot, whatever it's called. If you were with us on, what was that, Monday? We had the big power outage. PG&E shut us down to do some maintenance. We didn't know it was coming, so we weren't prepared. And we were down for, 8 hours at least. And if you had the streaming capabilities, you could still listen to us. Because we're still running this son bitch.
Yeah.
24/7, but it's on the stream. Sometimes
it used to be that we liked it when the power went out because it gave us a little break. Now, because so many of you stream, and we thank you for doing so, and so many of you listen on the app, and we thank you for doing so, that we have to continue working, which we do not thank you for doing so.
And I got to tell you, when the power goes out, you want to make sure you get to that stream right away, because that's when we start giving stuff away, because it's fun to give stuff away to just a small section of people that are up on the streaming game. So the rest of you that don't have any way to stream us, come on, man, it's 2021.
Of the sports, which sport do you think has the biggest crybabies?
Are we talking men's and women's, or
sure?
Okay.
And this one is a men's and women's sport.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one that men and women both play, is what you're saying.
Excel, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's not football then.
No.
I'm going to probably say it's basketball. I don't think it's golf. I don't think it's volleyball.
Golf? You don't think it's golf? I can make a case for golf.
For whiners?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Are you serious?
No.
I mean, come on. How many times have you seen somebody, a PGA official, come out and say somebody has to play a ball from a certain lie, and then the golfer gets all flustered and
frustrated?
frustrated?
You're supposed to have some etiquette, and
you are supposed to. You're supposed to, but oftentimes you do not.
What other sport?
Which happened in this very.
I'm going to probably have to go. I mean, it could be soccer, but I think it's basketball.
It's snooty. I'm just going to say it's a snooty sport.
It is a snooty sport that both men and women play.
Yes.
Well, then I would think it's golf.
Yeah, it's not golf. But what's the next thing? Where there's golf, there's tennis.
Oh, of course.
Many country clubs.
Of course. You know what? Tennis wasn't even my radar because I forget about tennis.
Andy Murray lost in the first round of the U.S. Open, and he's not too happy about it. I'll tell you.
Who's Andy Murray?
Andy Murray is a British tennis player.
Just tell me now. We got Dumbass of the Day coming up.
Maybe Andy is the subject of the Dumbass of the Day.
Oh, it's coming up in Dumbass of the Day.
How pathetic can some people be?
I coach tennis besides doing this. Yeah. I coach a high school boys team about an hour north of here. And it's a very ritzy, well-to-do kind of town. And my biggest challenge as a tennis coach is the pep talk. Right? Because how do you fire up a tennis team? Like, how do you motivate kids that have everything? You know, I'm out there the other day. I'm like, you know what, guys? The other team, they think you're poor. They think you rent your summer houses. They think both your parents work. What are you going to do about it? Let's go. Mitt Romney on 3.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Tsitsipas. I got to go through the pronunciation here. Stefanos Tsitsipas is the subject of Andy Murray's frustration for being eliminated in the first round of the U.S. Open. Tsitsipas is being accused of foul play in the world of tennis by Andy Murray.
You might have to explain some of this to me. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Just because I'm not a tennis player, what is a foul play?
Well, foul play is like it is in anything else.
Oh, he's just being, okay, I'm sorry.
Accused of foul play.
It's not so much leaving the court, it's the amount of time. You know, when you're playing a brutal match like that, stopping for 7-8 minutes, you do cool down.
So he's accusing him of stalling?
Stalling, yeah. Tsitsipas took a medical timeout because it was a long match between Andy Murray and Stefanos Tsitsipas. And I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. I mean, hell, he's a
I've never heard of him.
That was supposed to be beat in the first round of the U.S. Open. Like I'd ever
just
know.
Just a bunch of whiny tennis players.
I know how to say his name. But Andy Murray. No, that's the women. I don't know the guys grunt all that much. Murray started rallying and winning matches, and that's when Tsitsipas came up with a strategy. And I see this as nothing but gamesmanship, but you be the judge.
Well, you think about this. If he called it... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's the second time. Go ahead.
I keep interrupting. I'm not trying to do that. But I'm like, think about it in football. When somebody gets running on, or basketball especially, you get on a run, the other team's going to call a timeout really quick to kind of break up that energy momentum.
That's gamesmanship, right?
Yeah, that's just part of the game.
If the rules allow for you to take medical timeouts, then so be it.
I think when he took the medical timeout, it was just after I'd won the third set. Also in the fourth set, when I had love 30, he chose to go, and I don't know if he changed his racket or what he was doing. It can't be coincidence that it's happening, at those moments.
God, it's just the way he talks. I want to slap him.
Can't he have,
listening to that annoying voice,
a small bladder? Because that's what Stefanos Tsitsipas was doing. He was going pee while doing the match. It was a long match, and who knows, maybe he drank a lot of water. Not everybody has the same bladder capacity.
Do they pee right there on the court like they do in football? They just have a guy hold a towel up and they pee on the ground?
No, that happened
on the sidelines.
Time ago. Come on.
That happens every freaking week. Why do you think they have that tent? They go in there, they're not checking their knee. They're in there taking a dump. Hey, I got to take a dump, coach. All right, get him in the tent.
So Andy Murray's upset.
I'm not saying I necessarily win that match for sure, but it had influence on what was happening after those breaks. Yes. And I think he's a brilliant player, and I think he's great for the game. But I have zero time for that stuff at all, and I lost respect for him.
Just listening to that voice, it just sounds like such a pompous.
When you lose, there's such a thing for losing gracefully, right?
No respect for him.
I mean, you want to lose gracefully.
Not the Brits. They're too arrogant.
You're finding an excuse.
So let's just recap here. He's upset with this guy because he lost, number one. And he said the guy called a timeout, which broke his momentum, and he wasn't able to get his juju back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. That's
in your
excuses.
head. That's in your head. That's on you, okay? Yeah. That is you not properly training your brain to get back to the place where you needed to be when he came back from going pee.
He's a participation trophy guy.
Andy Murray's pretty old. I mean, he's been around the game for a while.
35?
Well, by tennis standards, yeah.
He's a millennial. He was given a participation trophy, I guarantee you, at some point in his life, and this is why is why he's making excuses.
Yeah, he's 34 years of age. Yeah. So that's pretty old by tennis standards.
Is it?
It is. It really is.
Well, congratulations for being an old guy, still kicking some ass, but not kicking enough ass.
But
Apparently,
you're not kicking ass though. That's the thing. I mean,
he's still professionally playing.
He's won 2 gold medals at previous Olympics.
Yeah,
okay,
hang it up. Bro.
I mean, therefore, you should act like you've been there before, and you're 34 years of age. You have been there before.
Yeah. Start sounding like an
so
old
then
cranky
you're
man.
making excuses for your poor play because your opponent
is better than
had
you.
to go to the bathroom, which is well within the rules of whatever it is. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow him to.
You would think, being such an old guy tennis player, that he would appreciate a break.
But no. His momentum. It's all messed up. Congratulations, Andy Murray.
Yeah, knowing Brit.
Andrew. Actually, God, does this not sound like the rich tennis player? He's been knighted by the powers that be over there, whatever the hell that means. He's Sir Andrew Barron Murray. Congratulations, Sir Andrew Barron Murray. You are Jeff and Jeremy's.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.